The anti-corruption war. We're joined by Mr. Soetan, who is an anti-corruption crusader. Thank you for coming on again today.
Yeah, thank you, good brother.
Well, it's interesting how the country intends to tackle this entire problem, expecting everyone to be on board, but they've got a task that they're facing, really. Some recent invitation also generating a lot of furore, but looking at the entire approach that the Commission is adopting, you've been studying the crusade for a while. How do you read the entire scenario?
Well, I think the Commission has been trying to do one or two, what I would call PR for the system, of relations for the systems, in terms of picking one or two individuals to assuage the feelings that Nigeria is perplexed about fighting corruption. But you also have to appreciate that no matter what good intention the FCC might have, corruption has overwhelmed EFCC and any other organizations that is set up to fight corruption. Because you look at the system, corruption in Nigeria is very systemic. And in that wise, you don't just look at one or two individuals. You look at what are the factors, what are the social factors that will allow individuals to have access, unlimited access to unlimited fund, public fund, and spend and loot the way they want, and at the end of the day, nothing is going to happen. The woman, I attended one of their seminars, and I pointed out that, well, look, there's no way you want to fight corruption convincingly in Nigeria. Why? We are operating an economic system, structural adjustment program, which since 1985, when Babangida came in, the structural adjustment program has said that, look, government has no business about welfare of the people. Transfer this burden to private individuals. And that is where you have all these PPP, private public practice, whatever they call it. And what it means is that, look, government has no business in water, provision of water, earth, road, housing. All these social amenities are being sold, away to private individual. And directly, too, we are having more money coming in as internally generated revenue and money from oil. Then the question you ask is that when government is having least thing to do and you have more money coming in, then what are they going to do with the money? They're going to steal it. They're going to loot it. And that is the basis. So when you don't fundamentally address the socio-economic situation of Nigeria that allowed government and government officials to have access to unlimited funds, they're just wasting your time.
So are you suggesting a return back to where we were, where the government had to handle all these issues of water supply and all that?
If I want to suggest, I suggest a social revolution, because until that is done, when we were young, at least I worked with as a media guy with late Chief Bishop Banjo as a governor of Ogun State when I was at NTA. You will see them. You could see that the people in government there were working. They talk of free education. They were building schools. No private, whatever they call it now. No, they were building schools. They built schools that are standard. They were building hospitals.
They had more responsibility.
In fact, they were overwhelmed by responsibilities. That's the truth. So you don't see them going to US, London, building houses, becoming celebrities overnight. No, you don't see them. But because of the talk of global capitalism, the advancement of global capitalism, in the trend of so-called globalization, took over the basic welfare provision by government.
But one would have thought, sorry, Mr. Soetan, one would have thought that capitalism is synonymous to prudence. So if you're a capitalist, you should be able, a capitalist government, for instance, should be able to look at what we call accountability and look at how the funds are spent and what exactly they're spent for. But again, that is not the case. So it's not as a result of a failure of the kind of system or economic system we practice,
well,
as you're saying.
Yeah, maybe I'm just trying to theorize our so-called ruling class by calling them capitalists. They are not really, because let's just call them merchants, business merchants. Because even in the average capitalist system, they want basic thing to work so that they can get more output from an average working whatever, even though ultimately wealth is still controlled by few people. That is the essence of capitalism. But here in Nigeria, even when they steal, they don't want anything to work. They transfer the load abroad. They don't even have, I always tell people, if Nigeria should go to war, maybe with Switzerland today, many of our governors, presidents, senators are going to support Switzerland. Because their loot is not here. Their investments are not here. What they just do is to invite foreign partners to come and do one or two things here. Unlike in those days, I went to public school all my life, from primary, secondary, polytechnic, university, and school of broadcast journalism, all my life. And in fact, the whole amount I pay at I.flv for my schooling, maybe it will be less than 2,000 naira for the whole years I spent. But today, please tell me, government has no business in anything. So what we are having today is gangsterism. All of us have been captured, and they are using democracy as a blackmail. So if you say too much, then military will come in. Okay. And what they are just saying is that, well, we have no business in your welfare.